righty, here we go, guys. We are live for our first official watch along. We are in the bottom of the third here. Phil's trail 2 to the Mets. Aaron Nolan has let up 2 solo home runs. And let's hope we can get a little comeback in the red corner to bring some positive energy to the Phils, huh?
Yeah, because at this point, we're all thinking the texts are coming in. Aaron Nola is cooked. I know here we're positive. We keep it upbeat. But this team does seem to have, in my opinion, they're in contention. I think it's way too early to sound the alarms, especially on the bullpen. I think we can get into that later. But there's definitely needs and improvements that must happen ASAP. Whether they come within, whether it's the same person getting better over the course of a year, what it's going to look like. But you could pinpoint 2 or 3 huge red flags that if they continue could completely derail a otherwise successful season. Because what we're talking about is go ahead, because the NL West is loaded.
Yeah.
So we might really be talking about a divisional race here.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, if the Mets are kicking our butts, like it's been the theme since they came back from London,
right?
So where are you guys at? Because it seems like this is a coronation of that theme continuing.
100%. And I just wanted to. We'll get into that. And I just wanted to reiterate to anyone jumping in the chat or listening ahead. This will not be our traditional show format, right? So we're just sitting here hanging out watching the Mets game. So
Noel's
jump in the chat.
Again.
Noel's in trouble again. It's been a brutal start to the game, about as bad as it gets. So if you're here, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, hit the subscribe button, do all that stuff. The other thing I wanted to announce is in between innings, in this very live chat, this very live watch along, we will be doing giveaways. Bones and Slim have some really, really nice trivia lined up for you guys. So you jump in the chat and you can win some trivia. And all throughout the game, throw some questions. I already see some chat activity from Steve Kaz. We're going to get to that. But the whole game, we're just hanging out. So this is not a traditional show format.
And so let's go over, because we have all the Philly fans who treat it like it's the season too, right?
Right.
And maybe they're or they treat it like it's the Eagle season. They live and die with every single game.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about those big narratives, because at this point, last time we were talking, March got 3 straight starts, and now we're coming off a big Rojas weekend.
Right.
This Mets thing, man, because in this series we got Nola, then have Sanchez, and then Wheeler in the day game. So they're, the 3 guys who are supposed to be at the top of the rotation. So what are you thinking here, Bones? What's your boy going to do? Because he looks like the only excuse he has is they're waiting until summer. That's all they're saying.
So, now,
the temperature stuff,
early on in the first 2 innings, he gave up the solo homers. But now you see this inning, and just worked just had a walk to make it first and second to Lindor, and now he's got to deal with the money man and Soto, and
got him the first time. Struck him out with a changeup. Oh boy! Yikes! 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 That just hit. All right. Yeah, he looks terrible. What are we going to do? Because people do not. I was hoping last inning, I would love for this to be keep it at 2 runs. Somehow he goes 5 innings. And then we can say, hey, it's the quality start, yada, yada, yada. But he's getting cranked.
That was a bomb.
Yeah, and that's the thing with his velocity is down.
His ERA went from 6.66 to what?
He can't miss high like he just did. And that was just wow. That was just disaster from the start.
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
right in his wheelhouse.
the sad fact is they're acting like he doesn't need his fastball. Like he's this great needle pinpoint type guy. And yeah, he might be pretty good, but you got to be really, 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 really good if that's going to be the stuff you're relying on constantly, because if you can't, because you're always going to be building on the fastball, and look what they're doing to his fastball.
Oh my God. Of course, we're going to get Soto hot too.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, my next pitch would be right in someone's dome for standing there looking at that. Might see a foul ball here, but I think I went over the pole, so I think we're good. But next pitch would be up and in at somebody's noggin for sitting there watching it like that. I don't care if it's foul or not.
How do you think that might be a foul ball?
It was close. I think they're looking at it.
Oh, that replay looks promising for us.
Oh,
I thought it was. We got very lucky there. Ooh. That's all time.
Oh, good, because he looked
what hair away from it.
He looked like a clown celebrating that too. We got to make that a meme.
That's what I mean. Like if
we got to make that a meme.
I don't care if it was foul or not. The next pitch we up at his
and he was doing like all this stuff too.
Yeah.
We got a funny comment here in the chat. So Steve in the chat says, as an added giveaway bonus, one lucky fan may find a baseball from one of the bombs that Aaron Nola gives up on their front lawn. Great souvenir to go along with your red corner hat giveaway. That's a goodie. That's a goodie.
See, now that's where he needs to be, like down and away from him there. He shouldn't be up and in like that to him.
Oh, man.
When his velocity's down.
Man, what a terrible. That's just a tough ball, too, though, man. A little hardy, maybe get a little double play there. But, hey, we'll take that. And it breaks up the double play.
That's a 3-run swing right there. That's gigantic.
Yeah. Well, he's got Pete Alonso next, so he's not out of the woods.
But it's I don't know if I can do this all year with Nola watching him. He's going to have to get better for this. Is too intense. And I was a little – and I want to give kudos where kudos is deserved. Devo with Stott. Let's face the facts. The Phillies, the last 5 days or so, they've been able to jump on teams early. Scoring early in games. Stott's a big part of that. They're seeing pitches. And then the 4 best hitters are coming up. So kudos to you for being early on the Stott leadoff train. I think that's where we got to keep it and stay. Because I also got to give kudos to the Schwarber protecting, all right, because protection's not a myth. Protecting Harper. So I think this is the lineup. The only thing is, and we've seen it all weekend, is the flare-outs. We're jumping on teams early in the first inning. We're putting out 5 runs, 3 runs, and then we're just not doing nothing the rest of the game. That's where people are criticizing Stott being up there. But, I don't know. So far, I like it. We just got to score more runs later on, too.
Listen, that's actually the complete opposite of what they were in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they were only jumping on the team's bullpen. Now they're getting out early, and then it's just away from there. That's a good pitch from Nola.
Slim, I appreciate those flowers there. And to quote you early on one of your monster rants early in the season, when you said Iglesias is looking at 15 pitches on that theme, Stott has been second in the league, in as you might have seen, in pitches viewed per at-bat. So that also is obviously huge for a leadoff hitter.
Right.
So I know that's up your alley.
Especially when you have guys like Harper and Schwarber, and these dudes are like they're hitting. They're not savants, but they're students still. They're really, 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 really great hitters. So the more pitches they can see, they're going to be able to capitalize. Again, it stinks when Schwarber doesn't. If he comes back down to earth, it's going to be a hard pill for everybody to swallow.
We got a Mets troll in the chat.
I'll tell you what, the best thing about the Mets is that everyone has a complete wrong perspective. If they flare out, it's going to end up being these bats. I mean, the first 4 people look great, but Alonso we've seen get cold. We've seen Nemo get cold. Tyrone Taylor can't do nothing. Batty, the young kid, the third baseman who's hurt today, or he's not playing at least today. And the pitching's better than what everybody gives them kudos for. So I'm more concerned with the Mets pitching than I am, because I can see them, having hitting a bunch of home runs and then being cold at the worst time.
Right.
To where us Phillies, baby, they're doing what we used to do, and now we're looking at pitches.
I'll tell you
Steven,
what, those. Go ahead, Bones.
It's the opposite for me. I think their bats worry me more than their pitching.
Yeah, that's everyone.
Like right now, like they got Clay.
Got out of it, baby.
That's a big dog. That's a big dog. Bounce back right there from after that. Seriously, that's a big dog performance by him.
But like Clay Holmes, he's pitching really well right now. But how long is that going to last for? As he was a closer for last year, now coming in the rotation. And then Senga, you never know what his health's going to be. He's been hurt his first couple of years here in the majors. And there's another one pitching well. And other than that, nobody really scares me in that.
Yeah, but that's the thing
rotation.
with the Mets. So, like I was saying, no doubt the Mets 4 hitters are scary. They're going to have great years. Everyone's going to be worried about them. But we've seen hitting. It's the most timely aspect. Pitching isn't. And now let's go back to Bones' point, and it's what you keep hearing. Oh, nobody knows this guy, yada, yada, yada. The truth is, these guys strike out a lot of people. I think McGill is probably the worst with the walks. I don't think the rest even walk people like that. So as a unit, the starting pitching for the Mets get it done. And then the relief pitching is top in the league at this point. So as a whole pitching staff, they're doing a pretty good job over there. It's pretty impressive. Yeah. It was the same. It was SOS last year. People said the same about it last year. And at this point, it's going back to, like I said, that London series. So even as a Phillies fan, we gotta acknowledge that the Mets know what's up a little bit with the pitching. And I'm hoping, I guess I'm more so hoping that the bats just get cold at the wrong time for the Mets.
100%. We got Jonathan in the chat here saying, you guys saw Savvy Minea last year. Now this year, you doubt the pitching again?
Exactly.
Yeah, I see where he's coming from there.
Was awesome. This dude McGill, he had 4 strikeouts at one point, I think, in the first 6 batters. Got a little, like I said, crazy with the walks here. So that's really what we need. We got in a position to capitalize, and unfortunately, Schwarber just didn't. That's not going to always happen. Schwarber could have made this a 4-2 game, and hopefully he gets an opportunity again. And look, it's the fourth inning. McGill has 64 pitches and 0 outs. So,
and Cassie's due for a home run. Given today's news of Pope Francis dying, he was at like plus 520 for a homer today.
It's another low key Pope death, right? I mean, he's back in the day when the Pope. When I saw it this morning, I took a deep breath and I was like, I can't take the day off. I can't. I wish I could.
Yes, I mean right after Easter too. Sad stuff. So guys in the chat here. Yeah. So between the 4th and the 5th inning, we will be doing our first trivia giveaway. So either Slim or Bones will be asking a question. I'll let another man. He's dialed in right now, McGill. We will be doing our first giveaway. So Slim or Bones will ask a trivia question. Someone in the chat, whoever's first, you get our surprise gift. What's up, brother? I see D-Rel's in the chat. Yeah, and I see that Minaya. So when is he back? Like a month? He's on the IL now, right?
Yo, what's happening?
Can Mets fans win the giveaway? Probably not, unless you are. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. We know a lot of. If you get it mailed, we know a lot of UPS drivers.
Yeah.
United States Postal Service workers, and if something happens, if it gets lost in transaction, I don't know what to tell you.
I got a Mets fan story. Should I share my Mets fan story now or wait?
Do it now. I thought he was in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe he is. So, guys, I got to hear your opinion on this one. Violation. I don't know what this would be. This might be an actual crime in the city of Philadelphia. So, on Easter Sunday, the day the Son of God was resurrected from the dead, I meet my sister's boyfriend for the first time. And unbeknownst to me, he's a Mets fan. Now, as you guys all saw Sunday, the Phils had a brutal loss. Again, this is on Easter Sunday. Blew a 3-run lead. The very first thing this man says to me after the loss, he walks into my house, nothing else. He says, "How about them Phils?" in a snarky tone. So, again, Easter Sunday, I wanted to show him some grace, but I could not. All I could do is look him in the eyes and just shake his hand. I had nothing else. So am I wrong there, or was that just a gigantic violation? Bones, where are you at on this one?
Sounds like a real setup for a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah.
And I would have. That's a real. I don't know. I don't know. I might have laughed in his face. Maybe called him a name or something.
Right.
But as I said, we'll see after talk to you Wednesday. We'll see what happens. Maybe
Slim, where are you on that? Yeah.
So I probably would have sat back and started pulling out all the Mets insults that I could think of. I would like to, because the move would have been just to stiff him on the handshake, just say fucking cram it, dude. Like the fuck, like who are you?
Could have gone that way. I tried to take the high road, but I truly was just in disbelief. That's where I was at.
And it's nice to be friendly, especially when we had, Nola was up tonight, and we're up looking at how this is going to end up going. It would have been added insult to injury to be
added insult to injury. Yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely.
But they blew some leads. They blew a lead on Saturday.
Right. So. Yeah, no, it was painful.
Is he from New York City? That would have been the first thing. It's like, hey, you're a Mets fan. Like, are you from New York City?
Yeah, he's from the New York area. We got some other Mets. So, John, in the chat, are you a Mets fan as well? Because I see Ron in the chat saying he likes his sister's boyfriend already because Ron is a Met fan.
My gut tells me that because you see they've got a few Mets fans out there. It seems like to me they're the Jersey Met fans, though. We don't have any of the maybe we do. Maybe we do.
Yeah, he's a New York guy.
And tomorrow they're saying it's going to be 80 in New York. It would have been a good day to take the train up and see a game.
I educated him on some ball, so I definitely taught him about how Chase Utley is significantly better than David Wright, how he's a legitimate Hall of Famer and all that. So I went through the education of baseball with him shortly after that. And it's funny, man, because like when you're talking to someone who is equally passionate about the opposite fan base, like you see the delusions that they probably feel about us. But the weird thing about Mets fans is I've always weirdly respected them. I hate them, but I respect them because they aren't the Yankees front runners, right? They haven't won historically at all, so they're true fans, but also they're brutal, absolutely brutal.
I think maybe the best moment that Chase Utley had against the Mets wasn't in the Phillies uniform. It was clearly in the Dodgers uniform when he took out Ruben Tejada. And still to this day, I thought it was clearly a legal play, and they changed the rules because I don't know.
They hate his guts.
I don't see where he's wrong at.
Jose, I never won Reyes was on a podcast talking about how he can't stand Chase Utley. He's despicable.
Yeah, never shook his hand or nothing.
Never shook his hand. Like the only dude in the MLB, he treated it like that. And you know what? Yeah, the Mets back then, it was fun. They were definitely not as good as us. It was fun.
I will say there's one pitcher that really I always liked him, and he was with the Twins, and then he went over to the Mets, and he had arm issues, and that was Johan Santana. Man, could he deal? I think he threw the first no-hitter in Mets history, right? Mm-hmm. And then after that, he was a stud. He was just injured like the rest of his career. And
he wasn't 5 feet off the baseline.
No.
It was sad to see.
speaking of Chase Utley, did you see he was just interviewed, I think, within the past couple months, and he was asked if he genuinely doesn't like the Mets, and he said, "No, I do not like the Mets."
Yep.
That was awesome.
Oh, nice play. Oh, man, that's the catcher. He's slow as dirt. So we have a catcher get some stolen bases when he gets on, if he ever gets on, but once in a while he gets on. We got what else are we thinking? Because it looks like Nola, he's turning it around here a little bit.
He settled in.
Yeah, 10 minutes ago, I really thought we were going to be talking about holy heck. Because what's the leash, man? Because it gets tough. And I know, and here's the other thing. Let's talk about the relief pitching because we're getting into the fourth inning here. This game looks like it's kind of running a little long here. But with the relief pitching, again, Kirkering, okay. Unfortunate what happened yesterday. Terrible.
Right.
But we still believe that he's at least pretty good.
For sure.
Strom, we believe in him. We think he's really good. And same thing with our closer, Alvarado.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, we're going to have to, and I said it last week, we're going to have to get creative there. Something in-house. I think we're going to, long term, we're going to be able to figure it out. I don't think we got to stress it too much.
Right.
Romano got destroyed yesterday as well. Or 2 days ago, whenever it was. So that was, you hate to see that. He owned up to it, though. He said he was feeling pretty good. So maybe it was just one of those things. Again, it's still April. It's still early. And people are hating on this idea. They're hating on both these ideas. Mm-hmm. We still have Suarez. We still have Painter. Right? So we could get creative, If Painter has 5 pitches and he's a guy, they're worried about him coming off Tommy John, what's a better spot than coming in and being a lethal pinpoint guy out the bullpen? And then maybe every once in a while you get a start.
No, there is no way he's coming in to be a bullpen pitcher. Sorry. If you're saying you're the guy who's saying he's like the next Skeens.
I know, but it depends. I know. I think he's the next Skeens too. I think he's great like that. So does that mean we can then move? Walker really doesn't have the stuff. Then we're talking about Suarez, and if Nola was about to get rocked again, I was going to say, I mean, as a real far left field idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other situation, the relief pitching and center field. I think we're seeing our solution in center field slowly happen in front of our eyes, both in the majors as well in the minors at some point. Besides that, I'm not sure we're going to get production out of Kepler. He's going to be below 200 by Friday.
So before we hit this inning here, you said between the 4th and 5th, right, for trivia?
That's exactly right.
All right. So along with Roger McDowell, Lenny Dykstra was traded to the Phillies for what Phillies Wall of Famer? Future Wall of Famer. That's the trivia question.
Just repeat that one more time for everybody. Good question, though.
Lenny Dykstra and Roger McDowell were traded to the Phillies for what future Phillies Wall of Famer?
Okay, nice question. So again, drop that answer in the chat, guys, and if you win a prize. You win a prize. Billy in the chat said, Willie D, I wish Nola got a blessing from the Pope before this start.
Oh, man, too soon.
Woo, cold, too soon, man. Too soon is right. All right, Homer.
Do we have
leadoff man on the base path, baby?
We got to check it out. Ooh. And actually, they're going to be electing a new pope, it looks like.
This soon?
Huh?
They have to. It has to be filled. They'll pray to the Holy Spirit, and then
They're not even there
eventually
yet.
come to a decision.
Yeah, but it takes as long as it takes, right? Like there's not like a time frame. Isn't that right?
Correct.
Well, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like there's
No
just
answers
however.
yet? What, Chat GPT down or something?
Yeah. So guys, just a reminder, and Bones will repeat this question, and whoever gets it correct will win the surprise giveaway. So Bones, repeat that question
Big
one more
Rojas
time,
must
just in
have
case.
turned lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny Dykstra and Roger
Ooh.
McDowell were traded to the Phillies for what future Phillies Wall of Famer?
Roger that.
And this guy's losing command already. This guy stinks. Yeah, McGill. He's ERA north of 4 last year.
He's off to a
He's
nice start of the year, though. There we
He's
go.
nothing special.
Big guy.
Got Rojas, though.
Yeah, 8 strikeouts. He's 5 innings deep at this point. Hopefully we can tie it up this inning. Got the top of the order up, man on. See, Rojas,
Maybe
why not?
Rojas needs to get his helmet switched. A lot of helmet movement there.
And I wouldn't
You got a
mind him
small
even-
head.
Maybe he needs a smaller helmet.
Like even there, he could bunt there. You know, who's on first now?
Who's on first? What's on second?
All right, guys. While they're
Yeah, there's
thinking
no
about that
answers?
trivia, think about that trivia question. I have another topic to get off my chest. You hit on the R.I.P. to the Pope there. This is the other one I wanted to mention here. So, guys, the Red Corner, we go to a lot of ball games, and anyone who follow us, we just went to our first game together on Friday, which was a blast. Awesome game, awesome environment. But this is something I want to talk about. I want to hear your opinions in the chat. People that wear Eagles jerseys to Phillies games. Now, Bones and I have been fighting this battle on Eagles chants at Phillies games forever. It's a battle we're never going to win. But wearing the Eagles jersey to a Phillies game, I want to hear your thoughts on the psychology behind this. Who's doing it? Why? Because for me, I have no answers.
Yeah, I think
It's honestly-
I think they just do it for tailgates. They don't pay attention to the game. They're outside tailgating. I don't know why they would wear it there.
Yeah.
It's stupid. But yeah, like you said, it's been pissing us off for 15 years now.
Yeah, see, I would think it was a person who's just a diehard Phillies, like a Philadelphia fan who just doesn't care, you know? And to them, Eagles
All right.
rule number 1, you know? So you can be a diehard Phillies fan,
Yeah.
and be a diehard Philadelphia sports fan. And if you really, truly think the Eagles are king, which a lot of people do,
Right.
I could see, I mean, I think that's kind of lame too. But yeah,
Listen, I'm not trying to be a hater or tell another person how to dress, but my thing is, yeah, Slim, maybe it is the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's someone that, is just they're trying to show love for the birds. But I think it's the attention seeking. It's the, hey, I'm wearing an Eagles jersey to a Phillies game because I care more about the Eagles.
Yep.
I'll wear one to the next game and see if I get 100 comments.
You still got to wear that Rojas guy T-shirt.
Well, yeah, Rojas. We were at the game. If we ignited that game, I felt like, especially with Rojas. He had his best game of his entire life while we were there. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, that was awesome.
He kept it going. Again, I probably would like to see him bunt there. Anytime there's men on base, he just, my God, now we're not getting nothing. And here's Turner crying. Turner, like him
that's
and
right
Stott.
there.
Him and Stott are getting dangerously close.
All right, Bones, we have an answer in the chat here. Is Juan Samuel the answer?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Someone's chat GPT is up and running now.
congratulations to Willie. You are a proud winner of this brand spanking new NL East champion, 2024 NL East champions lanyard. So we will get that shipped over to the address of your choice. Congratulations. We got some Ron in the chat here. Coming off a Super Bowl win, I understand weird but understandable. I hear you there. I hear you. I mean, and look, if you don't have anything else Philly sports and you're just wearing that, I'm not trying to be a hater, but I truly think from my observations, it's the guy who's trying to say, "Oh, look at me." That's been my Shane R in the chat. You're saying it's not even an argument. What are you getting at there?
He's looking for an argument. I think it's time to move Bone back up in the lineup. You know, that's another thing that like these narratives, they come and they go. They're like series to series, and we cling on them. And then next thing you know, Bone looks a little bit better. We saw he got he got the dinkiest of doubles yesterday, which I felt happy for him. It was like good for him. But yeah, the 21 game, 22 game report. Kepler looks. I don't know what's going on with Kepler. Again, we got to figure something out. We got to get runs put on the board.
Told you it was 5 years too late when they signed him. And that's what happens when you pay.
Good news.
Like right now, they're in contracts. Like you're looking at Nola sucking it up this year. He's got 5 more years left on his deal. What do we got? 8 left on Turner. Or 7 after this.
That Turner deal in like 6 years is going to be an interesting one, huh?
Oh yeah,
they're both really bad.
Probably going to be a second baseman or a left fielder. That point.
We got to hope. We want to hopefully get something in the top of the 6 here. Or I think the next inning where we could potentially strike is going to be the 9th. Their bullpen's been good this year, the Mets. However, their Tommy Trumpets or whatever his name is, he hasn't been as great as he was last year. I think he has the highest ERA of all their guys in the bullpen. So I think it'll be cool if I don't want this game to be 2-0. I would like for us to tie it come the top of the 6th here. But if it does end up being 2-0 and we get to the 9th inning, we're definitely not dead. We're definitely not dead.
Brett Beatty must be back from injury. Some reported he was hurt at the beginning of this game.
Bohm hasn't been the same since the London series.
Quick return. Yeah, that was John in the chat saying Bohm hasn't been the same since the London series. In a lot of ways, you're right.
And really, the excuse we get, I heard it again with Topper when he was talking about the bullpen. All they keep saying is these guys had the talent, and at the end of the year, it's going to be there. So, all right, I'll trust them. I'm willing to trust them for this year. But if it's not there, I think there will be major consequences.
Nola has better command tonight of his pitches.
Yeah, has there ever been a game that is a bigger representation of the cliche of one pitch can make a difference, right? Think about that. Like, seriously, that one pitch where it was 6 inches or whatever it was, a foot, to the left, and then it's a 3-run difference. So we are very grateful, knock on wood. Very active chat. Yep, get Bill.
Yeah, you got it. You got Willie D in the chat saying Kevin Long is praised every season with being one of the best hitting coach in the league, but it seems like our hitting is going down every year. I think we talked about first. Bones brought it up. If anyone's going to go first, it'll be Kevin Long, and then there's always people calling for Topper's job. I don't think. And then last week in my own head, I was saying, maybe they could do a little switcheroo there, but no. I think if they don't get it done this year, I think they're both just gone.
There we go.
I could see that, depending on the vibe of the year. That's the biggest thing, right?
Right.
Like the classic, if we limp into the playoffs type vibe.
Well, we missed the playoffs because, you're kidding yourself if you're still got us locked in the playoffs. Because we could win 90 games and it still be a heat race or a boat race or
So here's an interesting thing with Nola.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 5th start of the year. This is only his 2nd start with Realmuto behind the plate. The other 3 starts, he had Marchand behind the plate. And in the game that he had Realmuto, he went 6 and gave up 3 runs to the Dodgers, which isn't too bad. Still
Right.
a quality start, but the 2 other starts that he had, there was 2 bad starts he had with Marchand, and the one was a better start than the Dodgers one. Then they get the win out of it. But
Quality start might be my least favorite stat.
Yes, it's it actually came up from a writer from the Philly Inquirer.
Of course.
Back in 1985. He's the one that coined the term quality start, and they use it ever since.
Jesus,
Nice little
hilarious.
factoid.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool. We doing another
Yeah, we can do some
giveaway?
trivia. Yeah, we'll do some trivia again after this inning. So before that happens, what about this Ronald Acuna
Good pitch.
stuff? Very good pitch. What about this Ronald Acuna stuff? You guys have seen this, right?
Yep.
So,
Sit.
what's that, Slim?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so obviously the Braves are having a little bit of a crisis in the beginning of the year. There was a hitter, and Bones, refresh me who it was. Who was the do you remember the batter on the Braves that is being
Jarrett Kelenic.
correct?
Former
Yeah,
Met
Kelenic.
Brave. Yeah,
Their
Former
worst
Met
player.
Brave.
He's their
Yeah.
worst player.
So his hustle was in question, right? And Acuna, who obviously has a history of being disciplined for lack of effort coming out of the box and what have you. So Acuna took it upon himself to go onto Twitter and say, if that was me, I would have been benched. Which, in many ways, he's right. But what type of goofball goes on Twitter and calls out his manager and calls out his team like that, especially when he's not playing? Like, that's just exactly. John just said in the chat, I've never seen a player use the media to gripe against a manager. Just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I'm glad it's not us.
I don't have inside sources, but when they started off 0-7, and then when I started hearing the chatter from their local media down there, it seems like a tight, again, a click. They were close with the manager, and I can see Acuna being pretty upset and trying to push his way out. But what's going to end up happening is they're going to end up not getting it done this year, and their manager and stuff, it's his last year. They're all done. We talked about this earlier.
We did call that out.
They had us fooled for the first. I mean, once you lose seven every game for a whole week, yeah, I'm kind of out on you from there. So that the team's a mess.
Did you want to do the trivia question this time, Slim?
Oh yeah, I got a trivia question. So this past weekend, we've seen all types of wonkiness. If you remember, I think it was Rojas hit the ball back to the pitcher, and the pitcher basically just didn't throw it, and it was ruled a hit, not an error.
Right.
Long story short, basically because he didn't make a play, it was almost like that was the end of the story. So I have a scoring question for you, a scorecard question. All right, one for the rule book junkies. If a batter hits a ball in play and it strikes a base runner in the air before a fielder can make a play, what happens? 1, is the runner out? And 2, what is officially scored for the batters at bat? All right. So if, let's say you got a left-handed batter up, a man on first base, they crank it. It's a line drive. It smokes the runner in the dome.
Mm-hmm.
What's the ruling? What's the ruling? What's the ruling?
That's
Is
a good
the runner
question.
is the runner out? 1, is the runner out? And 2, what's the batters at bat scored? 1, the runner is out. The runner is out. But let's look.
So
for
we
number
got that.
2. Let's go for number 2. Let's go for number 2. It is not a fielder's choice. It is not a fielder's choice. It's not a fielder's choice.
Ooh, that was
Good
a
guess.
Easy stump the fans.
It's a nice
I didn't see
question,
that.
Slim.
I didn't see that earlier.
This is a real ball question.
Yeah, it was brought up as, I was watching ball with my father, and it's a question we ask each other. And then, yeah.
Did I get the
we
question correct before the show? Yes, I did. We don't need to talk
yes,
about that, though. Don't need to talk about that.
All right, Schwarber's back up. All right, we got a man on first.
We have a correct answer in the chat there. Josh Ortiz.
Correct. Josh
Congratulations.
is correct. Single. Rondo, good job. You did a lot of the grunt work there, but single. That's the sexy answer we're looking for.
Yeah, Ron, you got him to the 1 yard line, and Josh pounded it in there. And Josh, you are a proud winner here of a Red October ballpark exclusive pin. So we will make sure that gets sent over to you. Guys, we got some more giveaways where that came from. Awesome question, Slim. So we'll have some more.
Yeah, I'll have to try and find some good ones as the season unwinds and we see some of these crazier plays. I got one for the bank maybe in a couple weeks from now. All right, here comes Reed Garrett. He's supposed to be one of their best bullpen guys. So we can get to these dudes, then we should have confidence all year. So that's another thing. We got to look at all this as opportunities, not just roll over in our grave stuff. All right. At this point, we're going to see Kepler. We're going to see Castellanos, Kepler, and Remuto. And you can't tell me you'd rather not see Bohm up there. It's time to bring Bohm back up. I know.
I'll tell you what.
I know, but I'm
happy the bullpen's up here.
So I think Topper's thing would be I don't think Bohm's going to really climb up back in the order quickly, even if he does really start to get hot. If he's going to be comfortable down there, maybe he just leaves him there and just see what happens. But I don't see him climbing back up to the.
You're responding too quickly at that point.
Soon.
Bohm was having a historically slump, and then he has a few good games. You don't overreact. Nicky C's having are you saying Bohm over Kepler right now? What are you saying? So let's just narrow that down.
Yeah, Bohm over Kepler. I'm remembering.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with that.
Mostly every night. No, not Castellanos. I'm fine with Castellanos.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
I gave a subtle nod to Castellanos when it might have been too early, but I said our top 4 hitters. I said after Stott, our next 4 hitters are all whatever.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I think we can have Bohm to right behind those guys and keep him in the 6 hole. Keep him in the 6 hole.
I'll tell you what. I had a weird little feeling that Kepler might have a air quotes moment in this series because the man hasn't had an opportunity to have too many so far. So I think he may get a little moment in this series. So we'll see. Stay tuned there.
All right. Reed Garrett, he has 10 games. He's 0-1, ERA 0.00. So he must let a walk in or something here. Or I guess how do you have an ERA 0 or a loss?
Extra innings. Guy on second base scores like Strom did.
You see, this is how we get these questions.
Yeah, you don't get a run. It's a unearned run. That is the dumbest rule in sports, I think.
Whatever Reed Garrett splits against us, I feel like we always rock him.
What's the dumbest is you think the walk RBI?
No, the starting the man off at second base.
I like it
For extra innings.
Man, I had not liked the at-bats.
You put the pitcher in a situation where he has to make the perfect pitch, and then gets all crazy from there. Like Strom,
and
that wouldn't have happened yesterday if nobody was on base to start the inning.
Well, you know what you're seeing a lot of? I'm not sure. I don't think we've seen the Phillies do it. But a popular, depending who's up in the order, a popular move's been to intentionally walk the first guy to set that automatic double play up. Oh, Sean Kubis says Strom stinks. That's the first Strom stinks that I've heard. I'm gonna have to disagree for now. I'm gonna have to disagree, Kubis. And here's the truth. Let's talk about Hoffman. Everyone's crying about the bullpen. It's one of these hot narrative things. And don't get me wrong. Holy moly, especially the last 2 days. And I told you before with the bullpen, all off season, how many people were crying about Jeff Hoffman? there was a small contingent of fans. I think we led it here at the Red Corner, crying about getting him back, bringing him back. But then he got paid big bucks. So what you people who are crying, what do you want? How much money do you want to spend on these guys?
Jeez,
That's
that
everyone's
bullpen
saying,
has been good.
because that's what I said. Everyone's saying Aiden, what's his name now? Mason Miller. But we talked about it. What's the package for him look like? A cheap starting center fielder in Crawford or something like that? No way. You can't do it.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree. Yeah, I hear you there. I mean, Hoffman. I mean, Bones likes to point out, and I understand his back-to-back years of postseason failures. I think that was in the Phillies' mind. I wanted him back. Let's see here. What do we got?
Right, but Bones isn't here crying too much about the bullpen. He's pretty even keel. There is a context. Oh, there you go, Kepler. Get down. Good play. Tyler's a beast. The sad part is, you guys know, I like Alonso, and I really like Tyrone Taylor. Defensively, that guy is awesome.
Yeah, but our bullpen really wasn't bad. Last couple of years, it was good.
It was nasty.
Yeah, so before I think 2021 was our historically poor bullpen year.
And we basically
yeah.
And when we get
I'm
rid
responding
of
to the chat there.
So I just seen a stat today, like through this X amount of games through the year. Phillies bullpen is on par this year when it was the last couple through this many games, like bottom 5 in baseball.
Yeah, people forget that we had a slower start last year, which is almost hard to believe, right? With that, how hot we were the first half.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it, because what ends up happening is you have these experimental guys who get absolutely shelled, and then you have the dudes who are guys who are good, who are going to get shelled maybe, 5 to 6 times a year or whatever it might be.
Good call.
I think kind of that's what we saw with Kirkering. Some of these, and then there's some relievers who just have great years and they don't get touched. You beg for Hoffman, and he blew 2 games against the Mets in the playoffs. Yeah, I still do.
That's
like
the
Hoffman.
argument. That's the argument.
Here's the thing with Hoffman too. I don't think they got rid of him because of the playoff appearances. The one was Topper messing up, and the other thing was he got paid $49-50 million. It was a money thing. We were cheap on that end. And here's the biggest kicker: we let go of a guy who now had playoff reps and the playoff will and the know-how. A dude who's been there, done that, and have seen the worst of the worst.
Yeah, the other thing is
we just let him go.
Dombrowski doesn't like to do, multi-year deals with the bullpen, so that's the other thing that didn't help. But yeah, did you guys see that the most runs that Romano has ever let up in a game was 3?
Yep.
Ever, and he just let up 6 with us. That's crazy. Kudos to him for only letting up 3 his entire career. That's nuts.
Jeez, dude, Ramirez stinks.
Yeah, it seems like any bullpen guy that comes here, whenever had success elsewhere, they come here and they stuck.
Hoffman, I would love to have Hoffman now.
I do. I am a Hoffman guy.
Yeah.
Have you seen all the swagger he's been going out with day in and day out right now? Guys are looking good.
Lights.
He's like the star of their team, it feels like.
Oh, he's the man. I'm actually he'll probably get a save tonight. I think I saw he's averaging 4 saves a week.
Yeah, and they'll fall in line with the rest of the Blue Jays, where they go in, have a good year, and then come like August, September, they nosedive, miss the playoffs. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Jeff Hoffman will be a reason for that.
No way. He has too many tools on the tool belt to utilize.
He'll have an ERA over 3 by the end of the year.
That's a bold statement.
And a half.
3 wait, say it again?
3.5.
That's definitely a bold statement.
I'll take a chug bet on that. I'll be on there 3.5.
All right.
Geez, we got a lot of Mets trolls in the chat tonight.
That's
Can't get away from
pretty
these insects. They find their ways through all the crevices. These Met fans.
Yeah, we got plenty of time. Like I said, this game's not over. If it's 2-0, I still feel pretty good. I'm hoping another weak point for them this year.
So Slim invited all these Met fans. So the truth's coming out. Jeez.
I'm going to tear up. I got an Alonso jersey on.
That's funny. What did you how am I going to get into that? Almost forgot I was streaming live there for a second. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Go ahead, Slim.
Do we have any New Yorkers here? Any New Yorkers? Because that's the bigger issue, quite frankly.
Ron's a New Yorker.
Oh, Ron's a New Yorker? Great.
Yeah. Yeah, Ron in the chat is a New Yorker.
Jeez.
Yeah, Willie D just pointed out Hoffman, 2 wins, 5 saves, 1.5 ERA already. Jeez. Sounds good.
He has more wins than Nola. And honestly, at this point, too, he's probably laughing at what he's capable, his stuff compared to Nola's stuff, right?
You're saying as a starter, right?
Right. Yeah, no doubt. There's no doubt Hoffman has better probably stuff, right?
So here's the biggest thing, right?
His fastball is way better, so he's already able to set everything up, and he has 5 pitches.
Look, Dombrowski's not a dummy. He was not factoring in this Romano dumpster fire, right? As we've mentioned on the show a million times, Romano was supposed to be a guy for us, right? Hoffman out, him in. And it hasn't been that way. So
Romano has I don't know, 8 appearances, and he's been good in about 20% of them, maybe less than 10%.
Someone asked me the other day if he has a clean inning on the year, and I know he does, but it's hard to remember it.
He was starting to win me back a little bit.
Yeah, you were talking glowingly about him when we were at the game on Friday.
It's funny. I was watching him on Saturday, and his face just transitions back to Little Dicky, and then the runs start coming. They start coming back.
100%.
It's there that Nola he can't miss one again.
And then
the fastball just went right over him, and luckily Soda was late on it, but that could have been up in the right field seats like the foul ball was.
I mean, if you think about it, with the relief pitching, I was thinking, well, you said Dombrowski. I definitely heard people call him Dombrowski this week. But with the relief pitching, since he doesn't like signing relievers long term, he's still paying Romano $9 million. And what's he going to do? Guess every year and try to guess right every year? At some point, you have to commit. And we had a great opportunity, especially with a guy who potentially could have been flexible in either role here for us. And knowing that you weren't going to bring back Suarez. So I think the Hoffman thing is a big mistake. I think the Nola contract's going to be rough. The Turner contract's rough. Hoskins was underappreciated, right? So
let's hope Nola settles in, man. Let's hope he settles in because
he's looking.
Yeah, we can't afford to have him as a 5-year head shaker for us.
Yeah, that's true. I'm getting ahead of myself potentially a little bit here. Brandon Nemo looks dumbfounded. He's a guy. He's batting under 200, so he would fit in on our squad.
Yeah,
he's another nerd.
Yeah, I can't stand him.
Yeah,
hopefully don't walk so he can sprint the first base.
And that's what I'm talking about. You're so scared of their lineup bones. Nemo tonight's batting 4th. I know the young third baseman's out, but again,
he's not out. He's playing third base.
He's in there now?
Yeah. He's over 2 in the night.
Who?
Brett Beatty.
Not Beatty. I'm not talking about Beatty. Beatty stinks. I'm talking about, what's his name, Vientes?
Vientos. You said
Vientes.
Beatty earlier.
Yeah, because he's starting. Beatty's not the guy to worry about. It's the other guy who's not playing tonight.
He's been sucking
Struggling.
This year too.
He rocked us in the playoffs,
Yeah,
though.
That's
He
fine.
was on fire all playoffs.
Yeah,
He's a
rocked
talent,
us.
though. He's a talent. He's
not
a talent.
playing good early on.
That's fine, but he's a talent. Like I said, Brandon Nemo, he's a hard worker. The
Hard worker.
And that's what Bones like. Go back to our lineup though. If he's batting fourth, are you really that scared after the guys that come? Like they're still. Man, there he goes. There goes one guy.
You can't let that fat turd get first and third on a play like that.
We got the double play open still. Get the double play. Get out of this 2-0, 6 innings, and that's honestly kind of extraordinary.
This
is a tough.
He doesn't
spot
have the
now.
sense of urgency when he's getting the ball into the infield sometimes.
I don't think there was going to do. I thought that was man. He hit that low in the infield too, and he got out.
Hit the batter circle.
Yeah, that was crazy, right?
Like, look how he's gathering the ball. Like, he took like a out of year. I mean, he probably wouldn't have made a difference. I get it. Yeah, Pete has wheels. That's hilarious.
He looks like an idiot when he runs.
Oh, he's a turtle.
He looks like I don't even want to
yeah.
say it. I seen something and it now makes me think about Pete Alonso. I heard something that wasn't good.
It's funny. Willie D in the chat talking about Romano's post game where he's saying how he felt good, but they just kept hitting me. I was like, you felt good? If that's what feeling good is, man. I know his stuff was better, right? He hit 100 miles per hour, which is nuts. But, yeah, man, he was definitely tipping pitches. I know Rob was mentioning he's going to look into that. He definitely was tipping pitches.
You know how some quarterbacks just throw a catchable ball? Some pitchers just throw a hittable ball. You know, they just throw every hittable ball.
Yeah, we have one pitching right now.
Jesus Christ. Hanging his curveball over the middle of the plate again.
And it seems like we're pushing our luck. Like we could have just getting him out the fifth. Been like, okay, we're going to have to. But again, I guess we go back to that relief pitching situation. And here's the thing. How do we think about Dombrowski when, like we saw in the chat earlier, I think it was Rondo, he brought up how they knew McGill was going to be pitching today, and then they knew they were going to have their best relievers ready behind them. You know, are we that foresighted when it comes to trying to set things up? And again, we're getting more flexibility. So, I hope that answer is we are. It doesn't seem like we are. And I know sometimes situations dictate foresightedness. But, yeah, I'm hoping we can have more foresight in setting that kind of stuff up. And, two, especially with the flexibility I'm hoping that we bring. Oh, let's go. Let's go.
That's gigantic.
That's not, man.
That's a momentum play right there.
I love Nemo. Looks so unathletic. What is his deal? You guys can't like that guy. He's not the. Go ahead.
He's their Castellanos. You like him if he's on your team. You hate him if you're playing against him. That's a hell of a play.
That is a great play.
No, I think Castellanos is a guy that you love him if he's on your team a lot of times, but the opposing fan bases do not like him. Well, I mean, obviously Harper is that guy for a lot of teams for a lot of different reasons, but Harper, you have to respect him. I'm talking about like those kind of like fringe level guys.
Yeah, Nemo sucks. McNeil sucks.
We're getting mixed reviews on the Nemo. One guy calling him Nimrod.
Hey.
And Mets fan, what are you guys more confident with your pitching staff as a whole unit, starters, relievers, or these bats when it comes later in the year? Because for me, the top three guys are aces, but I've seen Alonso get cold. I've seen Soto get cold. And I haven't seen Lindor's pretty good, but his numbers aren't like, they're not better.
Well, their biggest concern from a Mets fan standpoint is that their star player they just signed for $700 million wants to play on the Yankees. He still misses his best friend, Aaron Jr.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Am I gone? Oh, let me see.
There we go.
Oh,
All
What
right,
happened?
I got
Hold
a
on.
trivia question.
Trivia question. Let's
my-
go.
All right.
Let me get my charger. Why are you hating on Nemo? Because his name's Nemo. Yeah, that's why. Not my guy. Not a slim guy. Don't like his name.
The Phillies traded Kurt Schilling to the Arizona Diamondbacks for Travis Lee, Vicente Padilla, and Nelson Figueroa. And what eventual opening day starting pitcher for them?
Another good
Thanks for the
question. Chat, you hear the man. Answer that question, and you will win another prize. We got another cool exclusive pin coming here.
Oh, there we go. Take that to the head. Welcome up. Get the inning started, Bone.
Look at that lettuce. Another good pull.
He would answer, but no prizes for Mets fans. That's hilarious.
How's it?
No, dude, I said Vicente Padilla.
There we go. Oh, man.
It was another starting pitcher.
Keep guessing.
This is going to be rough, man.
Got a lot of ball fans in here, though. A lot of ball fans. Get down.
Another BOGO night. Tim and Wiz. Another chance to do the 999 challenge.
Is that what it is?
The Metropolitan.
Yeah, the inflation got the dollar dogs up to 2 for $5s now. Is it that bad in New York? What are they, 2 for $20s?
Speaking of inflation and concessions at ballparks, I'm a man of my word. I promise you I wouldn't give you guys a hard time on the air on this, but ice cream. I want you guys to dial in for next game, all right? I want at least 2. We need at least 2 hats next game. So just to remind some of our new listeners and current people in the chat, the Phillies released a series of 6 ice cream mini helmets this year. Slim and Bones have vowed that they were going to be getting us all 6 variety by the end of the year. We're going to be decorating our podcast studio with those.
Yes.
And the first game, we've walked away with 0 helmets.
I was on a liquid diet.
Man, this is a quick inning. 5 pitches, 2 outs. We're reaching the danger zone. We haven't scored.
This is brutal.
Seems like in forever.
Well, this is the bottom of the lineup, so next inning, on the top of the lineup. And Diaz doesn't have good numbers against the Phillies for the ninth, so.
No, he does not.
That's what I still think we're it seems like he's a beast. I don't remember him last year too much. With baseball, sometimes the players, especially the relief pitchers, they come back to me later. And back to relief pitchers, they remind me of defensive backs. We saw Howie Roseman juggle defensive backs for years, and now he's finally investing. And I think with the relief pitchers, I wish we would have done the same thing and saw Dombrowski invested in Hoffman long term with some big bucks.
And they got some success against A.J. Minter when he was with the Braves. So
is that who we're seeing in the 8th year?
That
for the lefties.
Yep, Harper, Schwarber.
Yeah, we rarely see we haven't seen our top 3 relief pitchers in the same game in a minute, right? Kirkring, Strom, and Alvarado. It seems like our whole sequence of how we want to be setting guys up is out of sync. And I think there again, that's an issue people have with stop leading off later in games. You know, it just seems like anytime he gets an out later in games, you can criticize him leading off. So there's that point.
He only lead off once a game.
Right. So what does that mean for the rest of the game? Should stop. That's the criticism. So I'm fine with him leading off, but every time late in the game,
the Phillies are getting 2 hit right now, and Stott has 1 of the 2 hits. So I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, a consistent 1 for 5, baby.
And I don't know if they were seeing pitches. I know a lot of them were from strikeouts. McGill had 10 strikeouts, but he left with 93 pitches through not even the 6th inning. So they were looking at pitches tonight.
Yeah, they've been looking. They saw like 500 pitches over the weekend.
Yeah, brutal. Whoa, we got the crazies coming in.
Yeah,
All right, guys. I have something else I have to get off my chest. One of my other topics. Before we keep moving on here, I don't know. We gotta brand name this something, but cheesesteaks. We're starting to get a little bit ridiculous with cheesesteaks, guys. We're starting to take ourselves a little bit too seriously. As Philadelphia, we're starting to say that every cheesesteak sucks. We're starting to say that Geno sucks. Cheesesteaks are good. That's my statement. Cheesesteaks are good. Some cheesesteaks are better. We don't have to be a snob about every cheesesteak place. And the baseline of a cheesesteak is good. Now, I think the sliding scale from there is you do got to factor in price sometimes, right? Because if you're at a tourist trap and I'm paying $22 for a cheesesteak, I'm forced to factor that in. But nowadays, when you got the high-end ingredients, when you got the seated roll and you're paying top dollar, all right, that's different. I wanted to get this off my chest because we're starting to get a little crazy in the cheesesteak community where everyone wants to say this, that, and the other thing. Cheesesteaks are good. That's it. We can get a shirt. Slim, you want a Rojas guy shirt? I want a cheesesteaks are good shirt.
No doubt. Especially one thing you're seeing with the cheesesteaks too. Besides some of these places having dry meat, what I'm seeing a lot of is sometimes they crust the rolls, which is cool. But sometimes if you have an Armarosa or if you have one of those like pumpernickel style rolls with the seeds on there, that crusted roll then becomes kind of hard, And I feel like the OGs know that just having a nice soft roll is fine for a cheesesteak too.
100%. And we got a lot of Mets fans in the chat, so I'm going to actually ask a trivia question to the Mets fans. All right, I see you guys being trolling. So since 1986, how many times have the Mets won the World Series? The first Mets fan that can give me that answer correctly, you will win a cheesesteak, actually. We'll send you our favorite cheesesteak if you answer that question. Since 1986, how many times have you won the World Series? Thank you. You can Google it if you want. All right.
I like Geno's. I like them all. They all have its. The only one I'm not going to sit here and hate on any businesses actually. So I'm going to stay quiet.
I'm just. Well, I'll tell you what. This is a smart group of Met fans. We had Justin that said none. We had Ron that said 0. Both of those answers are acceptable. Correct, guys.
What is up with the New Yorkers taking on the AFC East Metropolitans? The Finns, like, are you Met fans that live down in Florida or something? I don't understand.
Yeah,
it's just do Dolphin fans hang out with the Met fans? They get dinner together or something? What's this Metropolitan Finns? We'll have to check it out and see what's happening.
This is good. We're just getting some early experience on how to handle all these trolls. But we have heart. I respect that. You listen. I've always said I do respect the fan base. There are some fan bases I do not respect. I do respect you guys. And we got some civil wars going on in the chat now.
I will be.
Goodness.
The chat's out of control right now.
Yeah.
I went up to Yankee Stadium a couple years ago.
There goes Acuna's brother.
Garrett Cole pitch. I got to make it to City Field. I hear it's so much better.
Did you say to see Garrett Cole pitch?
What's his name? Garrett Cole. Yeah, he pitched against the Phillies.
Yeah, that being said, though, we do have some. Yeah, so you're going to be in Philly next week, and Shawnee Coob just mentioned Del Rossi's. Del Rossi's is the one that I do recommend, though. That's the one that if someone's asking me, I say Del Rossi's. It's on our side of town, right, on the north side of Center City, so it's where we're from, and it's legitimately a top 3 cheesesteak. It's phenomenal. And they are not a sponsor of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, yet. That's correct.
Yeah.
So I still need an answer for the trivia question I have.
Kev, repeat that, Bones.
Phillies traded Kurt Schilling to the Diamondbacks. In return, they received 4 players: Nelson Figueroa, Vicente Padilla,
I wonder if I know it.
and what the hell was it? Sorry.
Take your time. And while you're doing that, we have a question for Slim here in the chat. What's your top 3 cheesesteaks, Slim?
Lee.
Travis Lee.
And then there was one more who became eventual opening day starter for the Phillies. What was his name?
You got a top 3 cheesesteaks, Slim?
So my top 3 cheesesteaks. It's a tough question. Off the top of my head, just ones that used to hit the spot for me when I was working downtown. Absolutely crushed it at lunchtimes. I can't lie. This is in no order. But Steve's Princess Steaks, right? I used to go right there on Chestnut Street and crush a cheesesteak and cheese fries like a fatso all the time. It was awesome. It would be 90 degrees and you could catch Slim down there.
Never apologize for cheese fries. Never apologize for cheese fries.
Wolfing down a Steve's Princess Steaks. And I get it. It's a certain style. It's a certain style.
Right.
My second one, though, I got to keep it local. OG's. It's a place. They have great cheesesteaks. They use the Cooper Sharp. They have the seeded roll, but again, somehow they keep it nice and soft, which I like. And my third cheesesteak spot, probably the place I can't front, the place I eat the cheesesteaks the most from. That's what I'm going to put in at number 3. Is probably the Works. I probably eat more cheesesteaks from the Works than any other place.
Okay. Look, it's your list. So someone just gave Uncle Gus's a shout out. I've never had that. Have you guys had those?
No. Heard it's pretty good, though.
Yeah. Where's that at in the city? Anybody know?
It's in the Reading Terminal.
Oh, cool. I'll have to hit that up.
I think it's a mix between Angelo's and the Knicks.
A mix between Angelo's and the Knicks.
Yep. I think they're like the owners.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so they use, And the Knicks is a popular spot in the Reading Terminal for the roast pork and brisket.
Right. Phenomenal roast pork.
Pretty good.
Yeah, the roast pork with the provolone is phenomenal. I would take that with the cheesesteak any day of the week.
Yeah, I just, again, the cheesesteak thing is obviously a very hacky conversation for Philly people, but we have to have it. But I think we're starting to get snobby with it. And I've noticed us going in that direction. It's like, guys, can we just, it's a cheesesteak, right? It's beef, cheese, and a roll. It's going to be pretty good.
To that point, the best cheesesteaks were the pocket cheesesteaks at
Shout out. Yeah.
Back in the day when we were young kids or young men, we would go late nights and get a pocket cheesesteak. It was probably at that point too. What do you think they cost us? Like $4.50,
$5. Yeah, $5. That's an OG comment right there.
It was awesome. Those were the days. Eat a dollar slice, wait for a cheesesteak being made by someone who was absolutely sweating bullets into your cheesesteak.
That was the secret ingredient. But no, so yeah, Slim just dropped an OG Philly comment. If you know Grilladelphia, RIP, that was a real – and the best thing about Grilladelphia was it was a short window too, right? What do you think that had, like a 2-year window?
I found out about it, and I felt like I was the last person on earth. And then, like every weekend, I was like going to Philadelphia before heading home.
Yeah, that was done for a while, longer than 2 years.
How long you think? Because remember, when you're younger, the longer the time frame is, it's the percentage of your youth is bigger.
But I can say this too: a lot of people compare like
I said it was at least 5.
No way. We'll do a chug on that.
Okay.
So wait, hold on. I do want to clarify something though, because this is an important clarification, and I'm not getting goofy on you. We're talking about the window that they had the pocket cheesesteaks, because Philadelphia did not always have the pocket cheesesteaks. So that was the thing. Philadelphia was a place.
That is also true. That is
true. That is true. So there was someone that came in that was making them. I forget the full story. We're getting real inside baseball here. But as the Phils and Ruiz are not doing what we want, but
that's what they want.
Who's that boy? Get out of here!
Tower
Get out of here!
Almost had the 5-4-3.
Oh, I had a food comment. Now I forget. Let me see if the chat can remind me. The cheesesteaks are there.
Yep, beat it out. Almost had it.
But anyway, what I was saying is, if I'm making numbers up here, if Philadelphia was around for 5 years, the cheesesteak thing wasn't.
So you're just saying the pocket cheesesteak.
I'm just saying the pocket cheesesteak, however long that lasts.
Never mind.
All right.
Well, Wawa used to have a serviceable cheesesteak, but their food has gone downhill, as well as a lot of their locations, as we know, at least in the Philly area. And the funny thing is, going back to Philadelphia was pocket cheesesteak was the height of quick, easy, good eating. Right. Then after Philadelphia, that gas station became a rock and roll Exxon, and that's pretty much where I felt like I became hip to like reality and like a dystopia of the world. Do you guys remember the rock and roll Exxon that followed at that location?
Rock and roll Exxon. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Oh, Lindor.
Are we serious?
Deep right center field. This is gone.
Dude, he owns us. Brutal.
Didn't bring it back to October. I don't know what will.
6-0.
5-0. I was thinking about the salami in October. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is, I mean.
How about close the book on Nola's night? 3 runs.
That's 2 for him, man. That's a huge night.
Yeah, I'll say. And again,
fastball right down the middle of the plate.
Anyone who has been following the Red Corner, I've been dialing 911 on this bullpen for a week and a half. I've been getting no answers. We got a bad bullpen. We have a bullpen. We don't have guys who can come in and do jobs. And we need guys who can get outs.
That jackpot was only $11,000 for the whole stadium. That's pretty sad for New Yorkers. It's
hopefully that dude behind home plate can sit down. He's wearing a yellow Gap hoodie. I didn't even know they were made.
Yeah, I mean
anymore.
Unbelievable.
The bullpen can't be this bad this all year. It won't be this bad all year.
I've heard that one before.
And yeah, that was rough. We got the double play ball. I mean, it was a tough double play ball. That wasn't. And then that was just an absolute shot, man. Just absolute shot. Jeez.
That'll suck the air out of the room. Shades of his grand slam was that game 3?
4.
Game 4 of the playoffs in 2024. We have ourselves a modern day Philly killer, folks. Brutal.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They get comfortable. Alonso's he's not doing too much tonight, but he scored a run. But they're comfortable. They're comfortable against Nola. They're comfortable against these other guys. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got. I mean, the good thing about baseball is we'll get a chance to play them again tomorrow, and we got Sanchez, who's a beast, and we got Wheeler, who's coming up, who's a beast. But yeah, like, we're not going to win any games. You can cry about the bullpen all we want, but we don't have any runs again. This will be a whole different game if Schwarber makes contact back in that third or fourth inning, whatever it was.
100%. Yeah, and the chat's actually agreeing with you, Slim. So Josh has pointed out, that the bullpen problems have to be fixed, and then Willie D answers with, we didn't hit tonight, so let's not look past that. I mean, we still have, 2 hits? I mean,
Yep.
You're not going to win many baseball games with 2 hits, especially against the division leader that's treating this game like a playoff series.
Time out. And these same Mets fans, you guys legit just copied the corniest of the Phillies fans. We had to ditch the whole feeling, the whole mother hen goose vibe that our team had, clapping for Trey Turner. We had to get rid of that whole vibe, and you guys just adapted it for Soto. So have fun with it. It works for a little bit, but let's see how it ends up in the postseason. Because last time I checked, like I said, the World Series thing, all that good stuff. But you guys legit just copied us on one of our corniest moments in Philly history. You guys went and stamped it.
Listen, you guys can chirp away, but as I always say, you guys were like the 6th baseball team in New York history. You started in the 1960s. You're always going to be the little brother. Don't get me started. Because I got a lot of ammo.
David Robertson, I would be for.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Did he get
hit? Yeah, someone else brought up David Robertson. Keep that scrub where he's at.
But I'll tell you what, a lot of these Mets fans in the chat do know ball. I've been impressed with the ball knowingness, a lot of saltiness. That's true. I mean, we're down 5-0.
It does sting. He didn't. I can't stand Turner. Actually, I can't stand.
Ooh,
he's rough.
Almost in the family jewels there. Brutal.
Easy out. Oh, there we go. He's done. This is his last there.
What's the number 7 for on the Mets jerseys? Do we know what that's up? Somebody passed away? Had a big player?
It has to be, yeah.
Yeah, someone definitely died. Ask these Mets fans. They should know. Who's the number 7 for?
Ed Kranepool.
Yeah.
Wrong.
This is rough
for
to
the
watch.
Pope. That's messed up.
Even the Pope wanted to have been a Mets fan.
Yeah, I don't think we have any battle rap fans in here, so I'm holding back my references.
Got it.
Dude, it's crazy like how bad Schwarber is against right-handed pitching compared to left-handed.
It's so weird, reverse splits. Guess they'd call that.
Yeah, this is the ideal spot to have him up. 2 outs. Nobody on. Yeah, this guy's pretty good, man. These dudes are hitting the edges.
So we got a late response on the Eagles jersey comment. Darlene coming in saying, simple. They don't own a Philly shirt, and they're just representing. Stop making so much sense there on that one. All right?
They don't own a red shirt?
Exactly. You don't own a red T-shirt? You can get a 3-pack at Walmart for like $15. Willie D in the chat saying, probably for the only 7 real fans they have that actually live in New York. We know that the Mets fans live in New Jersey. We know that.
There we go.
Oh,
Get a little something started. Give us something, man. It is tough. I'm happy the games are shorter because when your team's not scoring, it is a rough sport to watch.
Schwarby, third hit of the night, giving us something to cheer about here.
Well, I'll say this: if the we want to do a quick as Castellanos is coming up, my boy Castellanos.
Yeah.
Come on, Nick. He's not even close. He's coming back to the mean. We do a quick little slim pick'ems. I like the Phillies tomorrow, laying 1.5. We got Sanchez going, laying the 1.5. He should be able to get the Phillies about plus 125. The Phillies should win tomorrow by 2 runs. There's no doubt about it. And I also like the Yankees tomorrow by the win by minus 1.5.
Okay.
They're plus 145. So Phil's minus 1.5 plus 125, Yankees minus 1.5 plus 145, and the Reds minus 1.5 plus 145. They're the 3 we're looking at. Last week, I hate to say it, we went I think we went 0 for 9. We went 0 for 9. Fly out, yeah. Slim Pick'ems went 0 for 9. We lost about 9 units there, 1 unit for each thing. We always take plus odds or try to, so at least we save some grace there. For the year, believe it or not, we're in the red. We're 5 for 21 for the year, and we're down about 10.55 units. So if you bet $10, you're down about a little bit over $100. And if you bet $100, you're down about $1,000. The good thing is we have a long season here, and we're going to get it started tomorrow. So again, you can take the Phillies minus 1.5 plus 125, Yankees minus 1.5 plus 145, and the Reds minus 1.5 plus 145. You probably even get better odds than that. So check back in later in the week to see how we did on those.
You heard it here. The bounce back starts now. Slim Pick'ems, he always faces the music. And ride with Slim because we will be. Slim Pick'ems, thank you very much. Get Bones.
Is this the first time he's taken the Phillies on our show?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
No, actually, I have 5 wins in the Phillies. I took the Phillies opening weekend.
Did you? We got Steve in the chat saying that about 3/4 of our bullpen pitchers make Dylan Covey look like prime Mariano Rivera. Yeah, you're not wrong about that, man. Brutal.
Yeah, this is our longest show, I think, right? Or 127.
This is definitely, yeah. So our live watch-alongs will always be our longest, and this has been a fun night for sure. So I think what we're going to have to do next time is, I like the Mets fan energy, but we're going to have some battling going on. But I did like it. Ron saying Mets by 10 tomorrow.
Yeah, we got
highly unlikely.
We have a silent majority of Phillies fans who are going to reestablish themselves as Red Riders with all this Mets nonsense. That's a lot of Mets.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this many. I didn't know he must be in a sub the Mets subreddit or something. Had this many guys here, or what's it called? Metropolitans.
I'm not sure.
We gotta look that up. See what that's about.
I'm sure it's spelled wrong because the average Mets fan's intelligence level is not high. So let me go back and check this spelling on that.
Yeah, just so we went to Philadelphia Catholic schools, not the New York public schools system. So there is a little smugness you might hear in our tone.
Little PS 113. Wasn't that the school name from Hey Arnold?
You know what? I thought it had something to do with the district up there, but I wasn't sure. So is that what it's from? Hey Arnold?
Yeah.
Nice Hey Arnold reference. We got it all in the red corner.
You see the Hey Arnold crew, what they look like.
Yeah. Tanner Banks. Let's do a quick over/under on hits allowed here.
He's going to let up 1 hit. That's all.
Okay. So 1.5. You're setting the over/under 1.5.
Yep, 1.5.
You're taking the under.
I'll take.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Yes, sir. I like that.
Over.
We need something here.
I did it again. I had my on this date in Phillies history, and I never saved it in my notes.
So we're not doing that?
Yeah, I can remember. I don't remember specifics.
We still don't have an answer on your last trivia question, right?
Don't have an answer on my list. I'm
Yeah.
disappointed.
It has something to do with because the question's like 2 minutes long. So feedback on your next questions. Cut it back for like 2 minutes less.
Do Mets
hit it with
fans? Go ahead, my bad.
What eventual Phillies opening
Yeah.
day starter was traded for Kurt Schilling?
That's it?
Yeah.
Can I take
didn't name more. I didn't name the other players involved.
Oh, okay. So
Can I take a guess?
Go ahead.
Omar Dale?
Omar Dale. Yeah, there
good
we go.
pull. Good pull.
Chris's chat GPT was working tonight.
Yeah, 100%.
He's a grok guy on X.
No, I'm not. I'm on paragraph 3. I'm getting to the end.
He went 4 for 19 that year.
That's a terrible year, but he also eventually made an All-Star game. He battled. You know, he
He
professional.
didn't make an All-Star game with the
pitcher.
Phillies. He did that before.
Omar Dale?
Yeah.
That's
I'm going to
a
challenge
nice
you.
question. I didn't know that one.
I'll challenge you on that. He made one with the Phillies.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, let me look it up.
Well, what are the stakes here? We got to set the stakes. You know, chug.
Chug.
All right.
Yeah.
Making sure. We have a chug bet
Let's check it,
live,
check it, check
folks. That's funny. It's Frank the Tank call out from Boston. Yeah, he's hilarious. Frank the Tank is. That's a Mets fan right there. Passionate guy. And he's an
I don't think I
absolute-
ever finished watching. He's too much.
He knows ball though. He's an encyclopedia
Yeah, for
about
sure.
baseball. Yeah,
Who's that?
Frank the Tank. The Barstool Mets fan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's an encyclopedia. That guy.
Do. Omar Dale. Let me bring him up. Jeez.
Never made an All-Star game.
Never even made one. Who am I thinking of?
No idea.
I remember when we traded him. I feel like the Daily News said no more Omar. No one.
Kaz got that in the chat. Oh wow. Omar Dow, Bruce Chen, Robert Person rotation. That's a blast from the past right there. Robert Person, great call.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear the Broads rant tonight. I don't know what that means. It's John in the chat. What does that mean?
He's the dude on. He's on 97.5.
Oh yeah.
He
I'm
was on
sorry,
the midday
Broads.
show.
Yeah.
He's on WIP now.
Yes. I know exactly.
What time does he do post game Phillies, or does he just do like? Is he 7 to 10 now? I thought he was like, wasn't it? What time is he now?
He's crazy. He's funny, that guy.
He's probably like 12 to 2 or something like that.
Yeah, if you're working 12 to 2, he's the guy to listen to. He'll get you through a shift.
Yeah, cause with Amari Telemaco and Jose Mason
Ooh, Telemaco's a good one.
Telemaco.
to fill out the bullpen.
This game is terrible, though. Holy crap.
Jose Mesa is one of the most underrated Phillies, though. He was
Oh,
good. Yeah. He doesn't get a lot of love.
He's the man.
Yeah.
I can't. This game is honestly too much. I really don't like being live as we get our asses kicked.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much I was going to like it, though. I didn't. It's like I didn't think about it.
Well, the fact
You know,
that we're losing 5-0 to the Mets adds to that.
I'll tell. I mean, this is. Yeah, heartbreaking stuff.
I have 3 just simple team sucks chats. Everyone just saying the Phils suck. Text messages to me.
Yeah, I got a couple text messages. Some people are claiming I don't know what pumpernickel is on a bread. I'll tell you what, I do. Believe it or not, I do. You guys have seen the videos for the Mets fans. We do other little content stuff as well. We do Bones Knows. He does the local trivia. He crushes the 94 one guy's morning shows. He kind of got not totally flagged, but they always know he's outside the arena waiting to get invited back in to take down their top dog, Joe DeCamera. And then me, Slim, I'm always in the kitchen cooking something up. I do nighttime remedies. I do obviously lattes. I do desserts, tiramisus, all types of sweet, good stuff. And yeah, just keep an eye out because we've been in the kitchen thinking of different ideas, especially with the tailgate season comes. I think we're going to be debuting a hot dog. A red corner dog's going to be coming to you guys soon. Maybe for that tailgate come May 3rd. Maybe we'll have it fired up by then. I know a guy with a Firestone. He needs about a 3-day advance, but he should be able to get us down there for us.
Blackstone, right? Is it Blackstone's the girl? Yeah, Firestone is the failed tire company. So Slim,
on the red corner.
I'll tell you what, Slim's a pro because if he didn't mention to teasing his hot dog, I was going to remind him, but he's all over that. So yeah, so definitely, guys, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be rolling. We'll be doing more tailgates, right? We only did our first of the year. We're going to be doing tailgates all season, and foul. And we're going to be rolling out our red corner dog. It's going to be a fire dog, and we have a nice little trivia question here, and I know the answer to it, so I'm not going to ask it. Josh asked to you guys, I have a question for you. Cole Hamels threw a no-hitter against 2 teams. What are they?
The Cubs, and the combined no-hitter he started was against the Braves.
That's who I thought it was. What
Labor
do you
Day
think, Slim?
2014.
I'm going to endorse the Cubs. I couldn't think of the second one, but the combined one makes sense for me. All right, we got a guy on. So yeah, I'm going to ride with Bones. He's the our go-to here.
Is that correct, Josh? Cubs and Braves are what I had in my head.
Actually, I think that was the game me and you were coming home from Wildwood.
Yes.
And then we traded him to the Cubs. Is that how that worked?
Sunday, Labor Day. It was 2014, and then 2015 was the Cubs one. Christmas in July 25th.
That's good memory.
And it was actually on this day in 2007, Cole Hamels had a career high in strikeouts with 15. We talked about that last week.
Yeah.
And then today it actually was on this day.
Josh confirmed that we are correct.
Bones is good with putting his answers to the moments on how he remembers them. That's good stuff, Bones.
Very good. You're both a lot better at that than I am. Speaking of Cole Hamels, I thought he did pretty good in the for his debut in the booth as the third man. I know it's not an easy job. What did you guys think of him?
I didn't really listen to the volume.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm trying
Appreciate
to think,
the honesty.
Where was I at? I was watching it, and then I was in the car driving to an Easter dinner, and then we were at a house with Fallon. I don't remember listening too much to the game. I mean, watching the game, but I don't remember too much of the broadcast. I heard he did well though. And people want more of him. That's all. You can't get enough of Hamels.
Yeah,
took on the final.
You can't. I thought
yeah.
T-Mac and Ruben Amaro did a nice job of setting him up for like situational pitcher questions, which obviously he's going to thrive in. So I really liked hearing his opinion on that. And yeah, Kaz, great call out on his no-hitter when that's the center fielder Herrera caught that ball. That was like clenching, brutal. I mean, it would have been an error, probably, right? But a bad line.
Not in today's
game.
Not in today's. Yeah, no, it wouldn't have been.
But it's definitely. I think back then that would have been an error.
And that's what's weird with the Phillies, especially if we start talking about shaking it up, is who they're going to be willing to shake it up with, because they pretty much commit to these core guys and they keep them around in their post careers too. All right, big hit there.
Hey, JT, look what I got.
He should get in. Run.
We're not dead. We're not dead.
All right. Every out.
And that was a good game. That was a big pitcher's duel. Jake Arrieta on the mound for the Cubs
Yeah.
that day.
Philly great.
1-0 game.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
I was down Wildwood for that at Keenan's for that game.
Another good example. There you go, Salem.
Yes, sir. Always love the short moments. All right, let's
Perfect
go.
game, short moment.
And here's the thing: if we can get back to our big dogs, then we'll be talking.
There he is.
The way it's been, Josh, we touched on it earlier. It seems like early on they've been there's been an increase in the style of the situational hitting stuff, but early on they jumped on the relief pitching. Recently they've been jumping on starting pitching. Today they haven't done nothing, so we haven't seen a full game. Again, I go back to Rojas could have bunted somebody over earlier this game, and then Schwarber had the bases juiced after those
Right.
McGill walks.
What is Bohm like getting all loud for?
He just has a bigger personality. I think he kind of wishes he could show it, He has a little like Jarrett McCain in him, or whatever. I think he would like to be able to be himself more, and he might find it hard to be that in Philly. Because even when his post games, when he talked about those torpedo bats, oh, did I hit a home run? I'm not sure exactly. I don't think he's able to fully engage with the media in like the sarcastic tone he wants to. Think Aaron Rodgers or something like that,
No, I think I know what you're saying, and I think he's not really comfortable in his own skin fully with us, and he hasn't kind of gotten to the point where he can just feel like he can be himself, like you're saying. I'll tell you what, the other day in a post-game press conference, I thought he came off pretty well when he was talking. When it was actually the first game after he came off the slump, and he was just being honest about, the fact that he.
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Quiet in the chat now.
Yep.
It says this. I'd love to see a Cody Clemens dinger. He's someone everyone always comes to me. They're like slim. Why don't we play Clemens more? And I'm starting to think he even has anything to him. So I would love to see some life from Clemens.
Oh, he hasn't had any opportunities.
Yeah. Neither Jake Cave.
Here we go.
But when you don't get opportunities, they don't keep you around. That's the truth too.
Jake Cave gets more love on this podcast than like Ryan Howard does. He gets a lot of airtime.
He was played more recently. Here we go.
Who are they going with? Cal Stevenson?
This is the situation we said, though, right? To get these Diaz in here.
I would love for them to get the Diaz, and they were talking all this trash.
Interesting. Interesting. So, MW in the chat saying, what are your thoughts on the rumors of the Marsh and Bohm friendship fallout affect their play? I actually did not hear about that. I thought they were still roommates. Have you guys heard anything about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. That's news to me there. Yeah. Get your trumpets out, Tommy. Boo. I still think the Phils win this series. I think they win the next two.
Who's taking on Liveline?
Today? I don't know if
I got Liveline.
I can look up.
Slim, what do you got Liveline?
I have to check. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. I was checking something else out. The team that plays Sunday night, I'm not sure we have any Sunday night games, but the road team on Sunday night is 0-4 that next Monday. Is 0-4 that next Monday. And that's a trend we've seen the last couple of years be true. I had a Red Rider to shoot me that text. Quote unquote, crazy. It's been crazy. Also, if you're watching, we talked about the efficiencies that Slim likes to take, the -1s on the away teams. Well, it's been pretty brutal. There've been a lot of one-run games here, and if you're looking again, the home teams have been playing extraordinarily well early this season. Every home team has won today. So if you would have taken a parlay and taken every single home team outside the games that haven't finished yet, yeah, you would have been kicking butt because as of now, the home teams are bringing home the bacon. And even heard today that they are beefing, not sure what caused it. I'll tell you what, Bohm and Marsh, they're probably on different levels as baseball players, offensively, defensively. And when it comes to their game, Marsh has that grimy, weirdo Southern thing going for him. And Bohm it's evident
he's not from California. He's not from California. This is where you always say he's the California dude.
Doesn't matter. He has the haircut. But Bohm, you can tell Bohm has more game. Bohm has more game than Marsh, right? Marsh is going for like the dirty frat hippie look or something, and Bohm is dating a national personality. So on the field, off the field, with the chicks, everything. Bohm is kicking.
Oh, look at
Marsh's
Cal Stevenson's first pitch.
Terrible, man.
Phillies outfielder will let that drop in the middle of them.
That's terrible.
Not great.
That's a nice swing.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at?
We have
Scotty Pippen nose.
We have another troll here in the chat from a Mets fan, and I don't think he was here earlier, so I'm going to ask him a trivia question. How many World Series titles did David Wright win, and how many did Chase Utley win? And I will give you all the time you need. You can Google, you can grok, you can do anything. Take your time. And yeah, Cal Stevens, who has history with the Mets, Kyle's calling that out.
And again, here's another big opportunity where we have two guys on, and instead of it being Schwarber or Harper or Turner, it's Stott. So I know it's annoying, but it's something that has to be pointed out. Yo!
Speaking of Stott.
Yo!
Let's go. Let's go.
Yo! And that's a point we can put to rest. We can put it to rest.
Come on.
Slim didn't want to say it. We're not going to say it no more.
Listen
that point
to me.
is done. Bingo, bango. What's your name?
2 weeks before the season, I said he's a leadoff hitter. I said it before anything else, right?
Somebody go wake Mike Winsett up.
Yeah.
Yep. How are they? How's he against the Phillies now?
Yep. We own Diaz. We own Diaz. And here's the deal: regardless if the Phillies win or lose this is a Mets loss, right? Momentum on the Phillies. Don't forget that. That's how baseball works, folks. So congratulations, you lost tonight. Congratulations.
You already lost. And you know who won tonight too? I actually I got to show some love to Slim Bones and Devo because we opened this show with saying, well, let's wait till we get to Diaz at the end here, and we were lucky enough to but here's what happens, and we actually saw this happen to Miami.
Yep.
When you clear the bases, it kills the momentum. And some weird stuff.
I know what you're saying. It changes the at bat a little bit.
More so with the grand slams. But let's get Turner here now. Turner, my gosh, man.
Jesus Christ. Right at him.
That is tough.
They got Harper up.
Stott, man. Love to see it.
So this is a situation where, say if Bohm was up next, they would pitch around Harper a little bit, possibly. But with Schwarber there, now they got to throw to Harper. He didn't get nothing to hit there, and he swung at it, but maybe he leaves something in the wheelhouse when we get a tie game here.
That's excellent analysis by you. That is the beauty.
Saying it. I don't think he's saying it. If you're Diaz, you're throwing this nowhere near the plate. And he didn't, and he swung at it. That's the game.
All righty. All right, guys. Can't win them all.
Nobody will want to play it.
But again, I mean, momentum is one. We took the momentum back. I think we win the next two. And honestly,
That Turner at bat, man.
Yeah, the Turner at bat. Kind of lost for words there. Wasn't expecting that to come back there.
Turner at bat, the
here?
Lindor show. You know, that's a big point. I would say they got like the Lindor show. They're going to be relying on those big three names all year. But yeah, if we get to their bullpen, especially they got closer issues, so they got to worry about that. That's something we don't got to worry about for now.
We made it a game there.
But the positive thing, Noah looked way better tonight than he did in previous games. Got lucky with that loud foul ball off of Soto's bat, but pretty much settled in after that. Was hitting the spots, keeping the ball down, and just ran into trouble in that sixth where he wasn't keeping the ball down. He just got back to the problems that he was in previously.
100%.
But better than his previous starts.
Yep. All right, well, Mets take the first game in the series here. We saw that. We think we bounced back. But, guys, this was kind of a new segment that we rolled out, right? So this is not our typical style of our show. I think we're going to continue it because this was a good time hanging out. That being said, Bones, let's close down this show here. These Mets trolls are hilarious. Really are. Hold on here. Let's do on this day in Phillies history and close down the shop here.
So I gave you the one already about Hamels, where he had 15 strikeouts against the Reds on this day, 2007. 2008, Chase Utley had it was his fifth straight game with a home run, which tied a Phillies record.
Right.
And then there was another one. We go back to 1979, where Mike Schmidt had 4 homers and 7 at-bats.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one was Cliff Lee back in, I think it was like 2013. Like, again, I forgot to save it on my notes.
Yeah, approximately.
2013, but he had like so many scoreless, or not scoreless things, so many games with like 10 strikeouts and a walk, or no walks in a row. And
that's a nice little nugget there.
Face of the earth.
All righty, guys. Fun day, and we will be back probably Thursday this week. We'll respond to this Mets series, hopefully with a Phils bounce back. Go Phils, and we will see you soon. Red Corner out.
See you. Thanks for checking us out.